Was he even involved in your signing, I should have asked?
100%.
Remiss of me.
He knew everything about every single player. From day one, whether it be a family, whether it be, just where you were staying in terms of the digs, your name, day one, everything that came with it. I actually was fortunate enough to speak to him only a few weeks ago, just on the passing. He'd been speaking to Malky and I managed to have a conversation with him, and he quickly went back into the boss mode and was talking about,
Brilliant.
obviously, big moment for him was the day we won the cup. He was obviously preparing for a cup final himself, and he wrote me a nice letter after the cup final and things like that. So no, massive influence. Not, I wouldn't say directly on my, well, definitely directly on my career in terms of what he stood for and the discipline he put in these young players. And I think there's no coincidence that when I think back to the young players I was fortunate enough to be playing with and growing up with, how many of them went on to have successful careers, and a lot of that's just to do with the standard that was set, the discipline that was put into the young players. And I definitely learned the difference between being a football player but being a professional. I think that was a bit.
So he was involved quite a bit in getting you down to Manchester in the first place. Did he give you the big sell? Did he give you the?
No, didn't take much for me, to be honest. I think it was he was obviously part of it. I went down and met him. Myself and my family went down to Old Trafford. Went to watch a game and met him before the game. And you're sitting in the office speaking to him. I've actually never forget that day for probably the wrong reasons. I wore this Rascal Burberry shirt for some silly reason. And then during that period, I think that my mum, after the cup final, decided to give that to the papers, so that was all over the papers, this Rascal Burberry shirt that I wore that day. So that's probably one of my regrets. Then they just put on a plain t-shirt or something like that. But no, obviously at that point I was just a 15-year-old boy sitting in Sir Alex Ferguson's office before a game, and he's telling you that he wants you to come and join the club and hopefully one day go and play at Old Trafford. And I think, when you hear that coming from such a powerful guy, and as I've already said, I was a Man United fan growing up as well. I'd been to a couple of games as a young guy, but nothing major, but always, as soon as I had the opportunity to go there, I knew that's where I wanted to go.